Guys, I'm telling you, this is what I did when I was sleeping in the parking garage. This is what I did when I was down and out. I was down to my last. Didn't know how it was going to happen. Didn't know where it was going to come from in my life. Didn't know what the next blessing was going to be. I embraced the process. And I said, if it doesn't kill me, it's going to make me stronger. I will not accept defeat. I will endure the pain, and I'm going to get a reward for my pain. Okay, we got Somerville is in the building. Las Vegas is in the building. What's happening? Glorious Saturday. Every single Saturday, we have this webinar. And this webinar is titled the AOTK webinar. Somebody type AOTK in the chat. My man Andre is on the call. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, great to see y'all on Facebook. Great to see you on Instagram. Ambassadors of the Kingdom. This call was made with a different kind of a purpose. It's not something that we're doing to, necessarily get anything in return. Okay, is the purpose is to give back. The purpose is to serve. The purpose is to impact and affect the lives of other people positively with no strings attached, right? There's so many podcasts, there's so much content that's available, right? That just talks about nothing or just talks about, stuff that's not going to help you change your life. The purpose of this call is to really take each and every single one of you and give you the skills necessary to win in life, to win in business. And again, those are success principles and God principles, right? The same thing, really, if you ask me. And so, guys, I'm going to get into a training here today that's titled Amateur to Professional. And I know we have people watching on here from all different backgrounds. We have people on here from different professions. We've got people watching from different, parts of the world. The first thing I want you guys to do, ladies and gentlemen, is take this call and partner with me today. Let me close my windows. Okay, take this call though, right, and share it out with somebody else. Trevante, amazing to see you. Ryan B. Owens, amazing to see you. Okay. Cut out some of this background noise. They out there mowing the lawn, man. We can't have the lawnmowers getting in the way of the value. The first thing I want you guys to do, send this to somebody that you want to see win. I'm going to bounce back and forth today between slides and just talking. And the first thing I want you guys to ask yourself is this. We have this title made for a reason. The question that I would have for you is whatever it is that you're choosing to do you have an aspiration to do it at a big level? Does anybody actually have big goals? Like, just let me know something in the chat. Like, let me know. Don, I see you. Eddie, I see you. Anybody have big goals? Somebody type yes in all caps, right? I hope I'm talking to some people today that actually have some big goals, some people that actually want to achieve some big things, right? This is not a small call, okay? The first thing, matter of fact, that reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're seeing the replay, like the video, drop a comment, right? Push the subscribe button, share this out to a friend or family member if you get some value today, okay? But what I want to start with, guys, is I think it's so important to become a professional at whatever it is that you do. I think in this world, you always see the numbers of 99% fail and 1% win in almost everything. Okay? You always see the numbers of 97% of people, they fail and only 3% succeed. Has anybody ever thought about those numbers? Like, let me know something, right? Has anybody ever seen those numbers and said, man, like, why is it that only 3% of people win? Why is it, does that mean it doesn't work? No, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. And again, all you guys may have different goals. But getting to the top 3%, getting to the top 1%, even if you're talking about a surgeon, even if you're talking about a lawyer, even if you're talking about a doctor, okay? It's going to take that you become a professional. It's going to take that you get some skills. It's going to take that you take whatever you do seriously. And I'm an advocate, ladies and gentlemen, for becoming the very best version of yourself, for getting to a point, right? Where you will not lose, you will not accept failure. But the only way you're going to do that is if you start taking what it is that you do seriously. It's only ever going to happen like that if you start taking some pride in what you do. Okay? Anybody take some pride in what it is that they do? Anybody, when they put their name on something, they actually have a standard of excellence, a standard of greatness? Type of AOTK in the chat. Okay? So the first thing I want to get into, guys, let's define professional, right? And again, I'm going to bounce back and forth between these slides and just talking to y'all. But if we define professional, okay, a professional, ladies and gentlemen, is a person who is engaged or qualified in a profession, right? So it's not about wearing a suit. It's not about being the sharpest person, although you do want to be sharp. But a professional, ladies and gentlemen, is just somebody who's engaged or qualified in a profession. So no matter who you are, no matter what you're watching, right? No matter what you're aspiring to do, my question to you is are you actually qualified in the profession that you're a part of? Are you actually skilled in the profession that you're a part of? Okay, so let's move forward. The question you guys all should start with is why, okay? The first question that you should start with is why. So, I mean, I'm going to give you guys some information, but I'm pretty sure if you don't know why to go professional, well, you probably won't care about going professional. Okay, most people, ladies and gentlemen, they don't think about why they're doing something. Most people don't have a deep enough reason, ladies and gentlemen, to go out there and do something. They just do stuff because it's exciting. They just do stuff because it looks good. They just do stuff because it sounds good. They just do stuff because their friends doing it. But I think the first thing you got to ask yourself is why go professional? Ladies and gentlemen, the first reason I'll tell you why it is crucial to go professional is clarity is power. Can I get everybody across all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom, just typing clarity in the chat? It is vital, ladies and gentlemen, vital that you are very clear on what it is that you want for your life. One of the first pieces of advice I can give people, no matter what you're doing, is decide to get clear. Right? I think it's great living in the moment. I think it's great enjoying every single day. But ladies and gentlemen, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You got to make a decision, okay, on what you want in the next 5 years. Okay, you got to make a decision where you want to be in the next 10 years. Right? Because in 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to arrive. But the question is where? In 10 years, you're going to arrive. But the question is where, ladies and gentlemen, are you arriving to? So if we're talking about a business, if we're talking about your life, don't try to confine the message to one specific thing. I promise you, no matter who you are, you can get value from this. But listen to what I'm saying. It's about principle. Your business, your life will only grow as fast as you do. And I see people, they work harder on their business. They work harder on their project. They work harder on a specific thing more, ladies and gentlemen, than they work on themselves. That will never work. For myself, for everybody else that I've seen who's had massive success, they spent time working on themselves. What do I mean work on yourself? Well, do you actually take your growth seriously? Right? Do you actually take the time to listen to audios? Anybody actually use YouTube to learn? Anybody actually go to YouTube University? Type of AOTK in the chat box. Just let me know something. Okay, I know we watch YouTube. Some people like the funny videos, the prank videos. Some people just watch, the drama and the reality television. But does anybody actually use YouTube, the internet, to listen to audiobooks, to actually study and learn from mentors, to actually work on their craft? Okay, when you become a pro, ladies and gentlemen, when you get serious about what it is that you do, you start getting some professional results. How many guys want to get some professional results? Type Go Pro in the chat box. How many of y'all want to get some professional results? I know Trevante wants to get some professional results. Okay. When you grow, ladies and gentlemen, the business will grow. Okay. And when you become a professional, you're going to have professional results. So listen, if you don't go professional, if you decide to treat whatever it is that you're a part of like a hobby, I'm telling you the truth, it's only going to ever pay you like a hobby. And that's what 97% of people do. That's what 99% of people do. They don't take what they do seriously. They have no pride in what it is that they do. They get started in something because they're excited, and they stop because they're not excited anymore. I want you, my wish for you, my goal for you is you start getting serious about what it is that you're doing. You start having a standard for yourself, and you decide to win in your life. I want to put it this way, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who still don't understand what it is that I'm saying. You can go 50% efforts down a runway. You can take an airplane and use 50% of the fuel, right, or the thrust power to get that airplane off the ground, to get that rocket off the ground. But let me tell you something. If you don't use every bit of the thrust power that that airplane or that rocket has, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to crash on the runway. Or even worse, you're going to have to turn back around. Some of you guys are wondering why you have to keep starting over and starting over and starting over. Well, if you're tired of starting over, then just stop quitting. It's so much easier. It's so much simpler when you just decide to go. But as long as you try to coast in whatever you're doing, as long as you try to do just a little bit, I'm just telling you the truth. It's not the most popular message. You're never going to take off like that. It's never going to launch for you. It's always going to be just enough to stay exactly where you're at. Just like that airplane needs every bit of that thrust power, just like that airplane needs all of its fuel to get off the ground. Not everything in the fuel tank, but you get the point. It needs, okay, all of its thrust to get off of the ground is the same way that it's going to be for you to actually launch your business, for you to take your life to the next level. I mean, just think about this logically. If it was that easy, why wouldn't everybody do it? Right? The life that you want, whether it's time freedom, money freedom, whether you want to travel, whether you want to live the life of your dream. My question is this. If it was so simple, how come everybody doesn't have it? You want something other people don't have. You want something the minority of people, 3% of people, 1% of people have. You want to have residual income. You want to have passive income. You want to have multiple income streams. You want to live life on your terms. You don't want to drive in 9-to-5 traffic every day. Hey, I don't know what your goal is, but I know a lot of you have these goals. You want to retire your parents. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to do what other people are not doing. So that's why you go pro. So number one point that we have addressed is why go pro. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got some value so far, take the link, send it out to somebody that you care about, send it out to somebody that you want to see win. If you're on IG, go ahead and send this live out to 2 to 5 people. Facebook, hit the share button. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that I want you to pay attention to is what you're a part of. Okay. What are you a part of, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know what you're a part of, quite frankly. I don't know the company. I don't know the industry. But you need to know, if you're going to be a professional, you've got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, what you are a part of, and you've got to sell yourself. Okay? Right? Don's on the call. Josh is here. Philip's here. What's up? What's up? What's up? If you want to actually be a professional, you have to know how many millions or billions does your company or your industry generate per year? Do you know the annual revenue for the industry that you're a part of? Do you know the annual revenue for the company that you're a part of? Right? It's basic stuff for a professional. Okay? What are the success stories, ladies and gentlemen? Who else has accomplished what it is that you're looking to accomplish? That should be one of the first things you've done when you've made a decision to go professional. Who else in your space has done what it is that you want to do? You want to make 6 figures? How many other people have created 6 figures? I see so many people. They don't ask themselves these questions. They just get started in something. They don't care who's winning, who's not winning. And they're delusional. Guys, if I would have thought about this stuff 7 years ago, 6.5 years ago, I would have cut my process in half, if not minimized it by 90% if I would have just asked myself these realistic questions, right? If I would have known my stuff, if I would have known what it is that I was talking about, okay, what percentile do you need to be in to actually achieve your goal? Have you thought about that? Right? Do you need to be in the 1 percentile of people? Do you need to be, ladies and gentlemen, in the top 10 percentile? Do you need to be in the top 5 percentile? I don't know. That's something you have to ask yourself. But if you're going to be a professional, see, you look at the word enthusiasm. Can somebody just type to me the last 4 letters of enthusiasm? Okay, you guys type that in the chat box. I'm coming right back. What are the last 4 letters of enthusiasm, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, the last 4 letters of enthusiasm. Let's see who got it, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's see who's paying attention. Trying to get to this. There we go. Philip says IASM. Miss Anissa says IASM. Don says IASM. Ladies and gentlemen, IASM stands for I am sold myself. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't tell you how many people are doing something they're not even sold themselves. How in the world can you go out there and sell somebody else? How in the world can you bring somebody else into something? How are you going to impact people's lives or inspire other people? You're not even sold yourself. You don't even know what you're a part of. You don't know what you're doing. You're not serious about it. You do it when you feel like it. Whenever something bad in life happens, you decide to just disappear and take a little hiatus and come back when you're feeling it. You just ghost your dreams. You just ghost your aspirations, completely just disappear. How in the world, ladies and gentlemen, do you expect to get to the top if you're not first sold yourself? And I see that's not you guys, right? How many of you guys are sold out about what it is that you do? Type of AOTK in the chat box. Okay, I don't know what you do, but hopefully whatever it is that you're doing, you are sold out because it is 100% necessary. If you're going to get to the top, if you're going to actually have massive success, you got to sell yourself. You got to be sure on what it is that you're about to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you why go professional. Okay, I told you it's important to understand what you're a part of and sell yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get somebody to type the word standards in the chat? Come on, can I get somebody to type the word standards in the chat? Come on, man, just light the chat box up. Somebody just type standards. You guys can screenshot this if you want. I'll take it off the screen. All right. I see a lot of people in the world that don't have any standard for themselves. Guys, like, can I tell you that you have it's kind of like a thermostat. Every single one of us has a thermostat, right? How many of you guys, when your money gets to a certain low, you just kick it into overdrive? You're like, oh no, there's no way that I can have this money or have this little amount of money. How many guys have ever felt that, right? Like if your finances slip down past a certain point, boom, you just kick it into gear and you bring yourself back up to where it is that you need to be. For a lot of people, it's 0. Some people, that's debt. I would encourage you to increase your standard. Okay? Right? How many guys can imagine your dream relationship? How many guys can imagine or maybe are in, right, what it is that you've always envisioned as a relationship? How many guys think about that dream partner, right? That person who's going to take care of you, that person who's going to love you, that person who's going to treat you with love and respect. How many guys can just think about that, right? And you have a standard. Maybe you've dated somebody before and they weren't meeting the standard, okay? So you decided to stop talking to that person. We all have standards, whether it's relationships, whether it is finances. How many guys your house just gets to a certain point? It's you got to keep it to a certain standard, right? If there's, if it's messy, you got to clean it up, right? That's a standard, ladies and gentlemen. That how many guys have a certain kind of standard for the car that you want to drive? Some of you guys were driving a car, you hated that car, and you worked your butt off until you got the car that you wanted. And that's the standard, right? How many guys have a standard for the way that you dress? Okay, you got to be looking, you can't just walk around looking bummy now. Okay, you can't just show up in public looking any kind of way. How many guys got some standards, man? Come on, type of AOTK in the chat box. How many guys got standards for the phone that you use? Right? I know everybody with standards on this call. I'm not gonna say no shade to Androids, man. I love my Android users too, man. I'm not gonna throw no shade. Okay. You guys gotta have some standards though. What I'm trying to tell you is this: most people in life, they don't really have standards. Like you gotta have a standard. I have a standard for my body. Like my body can't look any kind of way. It has to look a certain way. It's my standard. Finances gotta be a certain kind of a way. Where I live has to be a certain kind of a way. Why? It's my standard. Okay. So what I'm telling you guys is when it comes to being a professional, again, what is the message? Somebody says, Malachi, why do I have to elevate? Because professionals have a standard. They're not going to just do sloppy work. I got to ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Do you respect yourself? You let me know. Let me look in the chat, man. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Zoom. Do you respect yourself? I just want to know the truth. Do you? Okay. Do you respect yourself? I know I respect myself. I got to give Malachi the best, man. I can't just give Malachi anything. Okay. Somebody says, yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. If you respect yourself, ladies and gentlemen, you will have a standard, okay, that actually is of excellence. A standard, ladies and gentlemen, that wins. It can't be okay any longer to not have the finances that you want to have. It can't be, if you don't live where you want to live, dude, that should piss you off. Right? If you don't have the relationship that you want to have, gotta have a standard. Change that. Okay? If you're not, ladies and gentlemen, you could be showing up. I tell people, dress the way you want to be addressed. Have a standard, ladies and gentlemen. If you respect yourself, you're going to keep the standard high. Okay, what's the minimum level of success that you're willing to accept for yourself? Some of us got to change our minimums, right? Because when maybe your finances get too low, you'll kick it into gear and get back to that 72 degrees, whatever that is for you. Some of us got to change what that is and make your old high your new low. Whatever it is that was, the best day or the best life for you before, make that your minimum. And if you make that your minimum, all of us have the ability to keep ourselves hovering around a certain point. But you got to change your identity. You got to change how you see yourself. You got to change what it is that you believe that you deserve. And again, this gets into being a professional. If you want to be an amateur, you'll take whatever. You'll just take whatever life has to give you. You'll just take whatever it is that's available. You don't want first pick. Just give me the leftovers. You got to have some standards, ladies and gentlemen. The next thing, okay? Somebody type skills in the chat box, right? Now listen, I don't know the skills for your particular profession. I know what the skills are for my profession. I know what I need to learn. I know what I need to be good at. I know what I need to be excellent at. Do you? Okay, so listen, I'm about to tell you some skills that you definitely want to know if you're in the world of business, if you're in the world of sales, if you're in marketing. You need to know how to find prospects. You need to know how to invite, right? Think about being a business owner and you can't even find who it is that your customer is. Think about being a business owner. You can't even get the customer to get in front of your information to buy your product or service. Can you present information? How are you calling yourself a professional? You can't even present some information. Guys, it's again, let me ask you this way. Maybe this will put it in perspective. If you needed, a surgery, heart surgery, right? Would you go to the surgeon, ladies and gentlemen, that has no degree They have no level of experience, right? But they just decided to slap a piece of paper on the front of a building and say, $100 surgeries. And you needed heart surgery. Are you going to show up, ladies and gentlemen, and let that individual, that surgeon, okay, do open heart surgery on you? Somebody's like, no. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, why is it then that you decide to become a professional, but you don't have the skills to qualify yourself as a professional? You didn't want that surgeon. Why? Because he's not a professional. Well, why should somebody want to do business with you if you're not a professional? Make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat. You have to get to a point where you know how to follow up if you're in sales business. Most people never follow up. Closing. If you're in marketing, sales, it doesn't matter. This is all applicable to, again, any type of business. But even if you're in a different type of a profession, get the skills for that profession. Do you know how to get people started in something? Do you know how to promote events, right? Onboard individuals. Do you know how to actually, guys, social media? How many guys are ready to take your social media to the next level? I can't tell you how many people don't take their social media seriously. And it's like nowadays, if I ask them about their business, they don't have social media, they're almost instantly disqualified from my time. Almost instantly. Now, that's just my perspective. That's not everybody's. But for me, you don't have a social media, your business doesn't have anything I can look at. Like, give an example. I remember looking for a barber. I need to see how that barber's cutting heads before I get into that shop. Okay, I need to know what it is that you did to his hairline before I let you touch my hairline, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so how do you expect people to get in your business if they don't even know what it is that you're about? They don't know your skill level. They don't know if you know what you're talking about. Some of you got to start showcasing this kind of thing more on social media. If we can't trace you, we can't trust you. I don't know who you are. So no, I can't follow you. And this goes for any type of business, any type of profession. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to the skills, okay? And I'll show you guys the skills in case you wanted to screenshot it. Okay, and we're going to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes. There's the skills if you guys want to screenshot them. If you guys are on Instagram or Facebook, don't worry. This will be up on YouTube. You can watch the recording. Okay, do the work, ladies and gentlemen. Do the work. Okay, most people, can I tell you the truth? Does anybody want to know the truth? Most people don't do any work. Okay, they work when they feel like it. They do the bare minimum. They don't really work. How do you know, Malachi? Why? Because I used to be one of them. I used to literally, just sit at home and think about doing the work. I used to watch videos about the work. I used to say, oh man, I can't wait to do the work. I wasn't doing the work. I wasn't getting the results. I was struggling. Okay, so if you're going to call yourself a professional, ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you the truth? You've got to do the work. Most people forget that part. They do the planning. They get into what's called analysis paralysis. Stop thinking, right? High activity cures all out. Don't even think. When you're in mode, ladies and gentlemen, when you're really in mode, you're not thinking about, oh, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Sometimes you just got to go. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Now, you should have both. Knowledge on fire is the best you can get, but don't get into analysis paralysis where you're just organizing your pens, you're setting up your spreadsheet, you're writing a list, right? You're spending time connecting with other people, and you're talking about what it is that you do the work. Okay. Now I'm going to say something, and, it's kind of, hopefully it doesn't. Why would you put more work into a job than you would actually put into your freedom? Why would you put more work into something that will never allow you to be able to live now, this is not for everybody. I'm just saying for those of you, again, where you have like I'm a huge advocate because I'm not job shaming. I think a job is very good. I think you should be blessed and grateful to even feel like, to even have a job, to even be able to pay your bills. But I'm a huge advocate for being in some sort of a vehicle where you can exercise, I become what I think about, where you can exercise, you know, extreme growth, exponential growth. So for those of you who are in that category, or maybe you even have, another dream, another passion, another hobby outside of your job, my question for you is why would you put more work into your job than you do into your dream? I don't understand that. If that's your mentality, it's never going to work. Okay. Some of you guys say, oh, Malachi, well, I'm not the best speaker. Oh, I don't know, man. I can't be like that person. I can't. First of all, you're lying to yourself. Stop. Second of all, make up in numbers what you lack in skill. When I was lacking in skill, ladies and gentlemen, I just did it again. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. Guess what? Give me an example, right? If we're selling basketballs and I know nothing about basketball and I'm working alongside the competition, he knows everything about basketball. Let's say I don't know anything about basketball. He knows everything about basketball. Okay. He's able to properly and effectively explain his knowledge about basketball and basketballs to the customer. He's good. I mean, he just knows all the facts. He knows all the stats. He knows about the grip. He knows about, everything you would want to know about basketball. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what this thing is. This looks like an alien object. He might actually show the basketball to 10 customers. Maybe he is so good that he is able to sell 9 out of 10 basketballs. He shows that basketball, follow me here, don't lose me. He shows a basketball to 10 people. He sells 9 of those 10 basketballs in one day. If I know that I show the basketball to 10 people, only one of them bought my basketball. Some of you guys said, Malachi, wait, hold on. He has a better ratio than you, so how could you ever compete with him? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I might only sell 1 out of 10 basketballs, but if I show that basketball to 100 customers in one day, and he shows the basketball to 10 customers in one day, his ratio is 9 out of 10. My ratio is 1 out of 10, but I show it to 100. He only shows it to 10. Who won? Type it in the chat box. Some of you guys are like, man, that brought me back to math tests in high school. Okay. Who won? Ladies and gentlemen, I won. Why? Because I was willing to do the work. I was willing to make up in numbers what it is that I lacked in skill. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Is this making sense? Somebody, this is making sense. Type of AOTK in the chat. Okay. The next thing, your daily routine. Okay. I have to break this down, and I hope that you're following me. You can screenshot this if you want. Cool. Okay. Your daily routine will take you straight to your dream. So I don't know what it is that your daily routine looks like for you, but you got to have that thing in order. If it's fitness, which I'm a huge advocate for your health and fitness. Why? It's not just about your physique. It's not just about how you look. It's about, what it does to your confidence. If you're not feeling right, y'all, like if you're kind of feeling, sad and life just ain't